Nerd is the new sexy.
What is up, all you sexy nerds? Welcome to Nerd is the New Sexy, episode 88. 88! I am, of course, the Grizzly McB, and joining me today is...
I am nobody.
Well, welcome, nobody. You look a lot like somebody I know.
Really? What's throwing you off?
I've seen that mask on the wall behind you before.
I am Wildfire One. Hello, everybody.
And Wild, you want to tell everybody what the topic of today's podcast is?
Sure. We're talking about DC and Marvel TV shows, and maybe get into the movies a little bit, and like what's coming out, what we're looking forward to, and all that fun stuff. Yay!
Yeah. So we got any nerd news? Let's start off with some nerd news. Haven't done that in a while.
E3 pack came and went. Got to take that off. It's killing my head. But a lot of cool games being announced. The new Bethesda game, Fallout 76, I think it's called.
Yeah, 76.
Like it's pretty cool. It's gonna look like it's pretty good. Battlefield 5 is coming out. You know, there's a few other PC games, and if there's some decent RPGs coming out for even the Switch, believe it or not. Yeah,
I saw one today. I'm not sure if it was mentioned at E3 or not because I'm poor. I couldn't go to it. But Rockstar is coming out with a Los Santos GTA.
Oh yeah, I kind of heard about something like that. They're doing an update on GTA too, by the way. There's going to be like a nightlife thing coming out. But since we're talking about Rockstar, I mean, their next big game is what? The sequel to Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead 2. Cannot wait. I'm going straight for the jackalope, just like I did last time.
The jackalope. My buddy Maximus was telling me, I guess, that I don't know how true this is. I haven't really looked into the game too much. But I guess if you can capture and train horses as opposed to buying them in the last game. And if they die,
that's cool.
Well, if the horses die, they're dead for good. There's no getting those horses back. You have to recapture and train another horse.
That's how it should be, though.
But it looks like it's going to be a good concept. I'm really excited for that game in particular. I think I already have it on. They're holding it
pre-order.
For me at GameStop pre-ordered. Yeah. So we'll see how well that works out.
Yeah. I mean, it is GameStop, but anywho.
So what games have you been looking forward to?
Oh God, we talked about this earlier. And I was so caught up in watching Arrow on Netflix, I did not look into anything.
That's okay. Gotta change this here. It's driving me crazy.
Little bit more on nerd news, though.
Yeah.
Before we jump into the topic. This podcast, this episode 88, is coming out on July 1st. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
The same day that one of our guys, True, is helping out with the Barkside Pet Rescue.
The animal rescue, yep.
For donations, every dollar donated is a paintball that True is going to be shot with by professional paintballers.
So every dollar donated turns into a paintball that's going to be shot, that I'm probably going to be recording him being shot with, and the whole time I'm probably going to be laughing in the background. But we're still trying to figure out, what do we want to do? Do we want to make it look like it's a mafia hit?
And St. Valentine's Day Massacre. And just circling him and just...
What I think it'd be funny is if we had like an old school Bonnie and Clyde car. But anyway, that's not possible. Anything's possible, but I don't think that's something we'll do. I think I'm just
I'll always try and get a hold of the Rollin' Relics here in Porterville. They're the old school cars. Let them know about the Barkside thing that we're putting together, and who knows? Maybe they'll donate a couple $1,000 for a bunch of paintballs.
That's And then we're not sure yet. It depends on how True feels. We might go to the Comic-Con afterwards. Yeah, the
Ohana Hanford Comic-Con.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how True feels after that, because it's gonna be there's already quite a few paintballs being donated, mostly towards the pets, but it's gonna be for his pain in the long run. He's not.
It's an incentive for us to help by causing True pain.
Well, the funny thing is this was his idea to begin with.
It was totally his idea. He knows one of the ladies that works there, and at the last Hanford Ohana Comic-Con that we went to, they had a little booth, and we stopped and talked to him.
Wasn't amazing?
And that's where True came up with the idea of, okay, well, we want to help out. This is what we want to do.
Well, it was an amazing interview that you guys did. If you want to, remember to donate. The link will be down this direction.
For a good cause. For a good
very
cause.
Good cause. It's for the animals, guys. And who knows? True's pain can very well be your pleasure.
It'll be mine, that's for sure.
It's funny because he was like, Wyld, you got to do this with me at one point. I'm like, no, I got enough problems as it is, dude. I want to be able to be functional at work when I go to work.
Right.
And not be like, oh, God, what's wrong with me? And people going, why you got so many bruises on your body? Well, the spouse that I don't have beats me. Like we were saying, it's for a good cause. It's beautiful. It's a great idea, and I think, and I'm going to commend True for that. He's going to definitely take all those paintballs.
Oh, it was a great idea, and like Wyld said, we completely commend him for his creativeness, his creativeness, and and coming up with this idea. And being the one willing to endure the pain for the greater cause.
Yeah, but okay, so let's get to this. Let's talk about the topic. A lot of the shows that we're going to talk about are, of course, on Netflix. There's a few on Hulu and some of these streaming devices that I know that you guys love. I know I love them. And of course, you can watch them on television if you like to wait. But some of us don't like to wait.
Commercials are bad. Commercials are made by the devil.
Okay. So, I mean, let's talk about DC, because and this is where it comes into play. DC definitely has television down. It's got it on lockdown. DC has the television shows great. They do wonderful with television shows. Marvel, more or less. They got a few shows out, and there's only one that I watch, and of course it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
which I've not watched yet.
That's okay. But let's talk about, okay, so DC has what? Gotham. It has Flash. It has Arrow. It has
Supergirl.
Okay, and then it has
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes. And then Black Lightning, which I'm not even going to get into Black Lightning, but it's just not my cup of tea. And I had the same problem with Supergirl to an extent, especially this first season. But
I haven't watched either one of those yet, either.
I can't wait to see. When you get to watch Supergirl, you let me know what you think.
Well, that's the next one on the list once I get done with Arrow.
Yeah, the first season.
I started with the Flash.
The first season, you're gonna pull your beard out
tomorrow. I hope not. I really like this beard, and yes, it is all natural.
No, it's all pubes glued to his face.
I mean, they're pretty thick pubes, let me tell you.
But yeah.
I've gotten so here's the sad thing, right? I've gotten more positive comments about my beard from guys than I have from women.
It's tickly.
It is not a ball cushion.
You're tickling the ball sack.
Not a ball cushion.
That's okay.
I only did that once and needed money for college. Never do it again.
Put a little tattoo of a penis on your cheek.
Mm-mm.
No.
Not gonna happen.
What if you lost a bet?
A tattoo of a penis? Yeah, not gonna happen. I'm not getting a dick tattooed on my body.
Right here on your cheek.
Mm-mm. Nope.
You could be like facing your mouth.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just making sure.
I'll get one if you get a bigger one tattooed on your cheek, shooting into your eye.
No, I want it right here, pointing down like I'm the fucking Avatar.
Just dripping down your nose, dripping into your mouth.
No, I just want it pointing down like I'm the Avatar.
That was an arrow, not a dick.
I know it was, but I'm making it worse than it was. The Dickatar.
You want to be a dickatar?
I'm the Cockatar. I mean, Minder got away with doing that shit. I guess I could.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Minder and Gambit do it best.
Yeah, well, you know, Gambit has probably more experience with doing that than any of us. So, just saying, love you, Gambit.
Love you, buddy.
But
no, but seriously, he probably does.
But seriously, he probably does. But yeah, out of all of those shows, I mean, my favorite would definitely probably be Gotham because of the backstory and all that stuff. And Arrow, and I love Arrow, and I love The Flash, and and all those other shows. They're pretty good, but I mean, definitely the Legends of Tomorrow was pretty good, and I like how they took.
Oh yeah.
They took just about every other. I hate to say it like this because they're not throwaway characters, but every other character.
No, they're effectively sidekicks.
Yeah, the side characters or the villains in some cases.
Oh, Snart and Rory.
Best.
In my opinion, the two best characters in that entire show.
Best characters, especially in the first few seasons. The whole time Snart doesn't want to be there. But actually it was Rory that didn't want to be there.
Rory did
Snart
not
didn't really
want
want to help out. Again, those two characters are great, and of course they are from another series off of
which they mentioned several times in Legends of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a wink to the audience.
Yeah, and in case you haven't caught on, both Leonard Snart and Mick Rory were brothers in the TV show Prison Break.
Yep.
And they make offhanded comments about breaking out of prison together multiple times during this show.
And the way they do it's freaking great. It's good writing. It's good winks to the audience, And Legends of Tomorrow is good. The first few seasons were great. I want to say this last season that's on Netflix. I don't know if the new season started yet.
It upset me. It did. It upset me.
It didn't break me like it didn't. I'm not like I'm never gonna watch it again. Fuck that show. No, but the finale was very anticlimactic, and it was ridiculous. Like you were expecting something bigger than it was, and then when whatever was supposed to happen happened, the fight was probably 2 minutes long.
No, not even.
Wasn't even. It was just literally like the creatures
maybe at most 60 seconds.
It was very disappointing, and
that is a very good way to put it.
Yeah, it was a good lead up. The lead up was amazing, but it was like watching a firecracker go off, and instead of an explosion, you get a queef. Am I wrong?
No.
I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Instead of a boom, you get a. That's
instead of a. Ooh! Wow! Yeah. You get a.
Yep. So but the series is good. It's good. It's a good watch. There's certain things that happen that I kind of seen coming throughout that season, the last season, and Grizzly and I talked about that at one point. We lose a character. I'm not going to say who, but it definitely led up to that. At one point, the lead up goes, you're basically saying to yourself, this guy's going to die.
Yeah.
this person's dead. In the next few episodes, this person, say goodbye to this person. I mean, it wasn't as bad as like, it wasn't as sad as like maybe Supernatural with Bobby dying, but it was kind of sad. You're still shedding a tear for Bobby.
I mean, it's Bobby.
Yeah.
Now, which time are we talking about him dying, though?
The time he died for good, like our universe bar Bobby. When he died and went to heaven. The episode where he was in, I don't know, between land, saying goodbye to the boys, which was very sad. That episode made me like bawl like a baby almost. You know, like I said, it wasn't that sad, but it was kind of like, oh, well, that sucks. That person's not on the show no more. But then again, it is Legends of Tomorrow. They got a time machine. So that
yeah, but they can't go back to the same exact time that the incident happened.
Every season they're breaking some rule, dude.
They can't go back to the same time that they are already at.
I guess
or have already gone back to prevent something happening from one of them, because then it'll pull another flashpoint.
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, they might just say, fuck it. They're always breaking rules. Every episode, or every season, they're always breaking some big-ass rule to do what they got to do to save the fucking world.
Now, what did you think about the director chick?
Director? Oh, the new Time Bureau?
Yeah.
I could give her. I can give her take. She seemed kind of like your, and I seen what the story arc with her. If you get what I'm my drift, I seen that coming. Because, yeah, I didn't really, and it wasn't that I didn't care for her. I think the character was okay, but I think she was generic. Does that make sense?
She was a clone. Of course she's generic.
Well, there's your story arc. At least one part of the story arc, not the love interest part.
You know, gotta blame it on Canada, Vancouver, 2024.
Good job, guys.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
But, you know what? She was it was a very generic thing, you know. That's like coming to find out that, you know, 20 years from now, the podcast is still going on and it's my clone. Your clone.
I don't see either one of us having kids anytime soon, so I'm not sure how that's gonna work.
Clones aren't your children, shithead. Clones are like genetic reproductions of yourself from like your DNA.
So if you had a clone of yourself, but made it a woman, and you had sex with your clone, would that be incest or masturbation?
I think that's the question for the ages. That's kind of a weird question.
That's a question you used to ask me all the time at work.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Between you and old Greg, all the freaking time.
Actually, I think old Greg brought that up, and I just was like, maybe eventually you guys will meet old Greg. He's not old at all, but he's hilarious.
He's actually a lot younger than both of us.
But he's hilarious. I don't know if we told you guys the story of Mr. Quackers the duck. I know that some of you guys have heard the story off podcast. Some of the fans we talked to. But
I think there's probably 2, maybe 3 people that have actually heard it. Heard
the Mr. Quackers story. I'll give you a quick synopsis of the Mr. Quackers story, and I'll let Grizz start with this because he's pretty much the culprit of what happened, of Mr. Quacker's fate.
Okay, so back in the day, myself, Wyld, and Old Greg all worked together.
Yeah.
I was the boss. Literally, I was the boss. Wyld was pretty much my second in command, and Old Greg was, the underling.
Underling.
don't know how, but he found this balloon duck and brought it to one of our staff meetings and would not stop playing with it.
This is 8 a.m. in the morning. Like,
would not stop playing with it. You know, making quacking noises and everything every time I'm trying to talk. So I popped it.
Well, hold on. He loved this duck. He loved this duck. He would walk around with it, and the whole time he's hugging it. And when we're on in our meeting, and he's just like quack 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 quack. Dude, it's a big duck. It's about like it's huge. It's big enough to where it'd sit on his lap and shit. And it was I mean, it was a balloon duck, and it was funny as hell. And then next thing I know, he's doing the quack 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 quack, and then I see Grizzly pretty much shank it, like prison shank it, with a freaking with a pin.
It was ended.
And Oldgreg is holding. Oh, exactly.
I hate you.
He does that, but he's holding on to it like it's his child, and it's deflating in his arms. It's just like, but he's holding on to it like it's his dying child, and he has this look in his eyes, like his face is just dead. He was happy.
He started crying.
He was happy one minute, and he was just like unhappiness, just like you fucked his world, and it was hilarious.
So then he went and patched the hole with tape, and then filled it full of water.
Made an ice duck.
And put it in the freezer in the break room for like a week.
Made an ice
Make
Mr.
sure it was
Quackers.
completely solid.
Mm-hmm.
And on his breaks, he would go in, he'd put a towel on the table, pull out the frozen Mr. Quackers, set it on that towel, and have conversations with it.
While we were there, of course, it wasn't like he was doing it by himself. I'd be worried.
But we have no proof. We have no proof that he wasn't doing it by himself.
You're right.
So I took it upon myself to give him the therapy that he needed, and took off the balloon portion of this duck sculpture, threw it away, and then took the duck out into the parking lot and smashed it.
Well, all that was left was the head.
Was the head. So I put the head back in the freezer.
Head back in the freezer. like he was a mafia hit or some shit. Like it was like it was right out of what was that mafia movie that had the horse head?
The Godfather.
The Godfather. Thank you. Like it was out of the Godfather. He put that bitch back in the the freezer, and I remember Oldgreg opening the freezer to look at it, and he again that look of horror on his face, like, and he
calls me over the radio, telling me to get to the break room. It's an emergency. So I run to the break room, and he's holding this head in his hands, and he goes, "Somebody killed Mr. Quackers again." I felt like the biggest piece of shit on the face of the planet.
Yeah, but you know that was an act. He was joking. He wasn't literally upset. I mean, yeah, he was probably a little upset because, you know, that was his buddy throughout the night, you know. But I think he knew. I don't think he was as bad as he was making it out to be. But that's what made it funny.
It wasn't until his brother told him that I was the one that killed him the second time too that he was like, "I will take my vengeance."
Yeah, and then he hit you in the balls, I think.
Yeah, with a stapler.
I remember that. That sucked. He's like, "That's what you get for Mr. Quackers."
And shortly after that, Staple Wars ended.
Thank God. We did some stupid shit at work.
We did.
Nothing too much I want to talk about, but yeah, we did some stupid shit at work. We had fun.
We made our first video there.
Yeah.
The Jurassic Park knockoff.
No, it wasn't Jurassic Park.
Jurassic
it was
Park,
Left 4
Silent
Dead.
Hill.
It was Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead. Yeah.
When I got pounced on, he says he still got
that was video. Fun.
Before I had back issues. Shit. But yeah, we went off on a tangent, but that was a good story to tell you guys. So let's talk about Arrow. You've been watching Arrow, haven't you?
I just started season 2. Sarah just came back.
Spoiler.
Spoiler, yeah. Season 2 came out 4 years ago. Yeah.
If you don't know this already, then yeah, you should watch Arrow.
And don't give me crap for just now starting Arrow. I had more important things to watch on YouTube, so.
On YouTube. Yeah, well, actually, the story with Arrow is actually when I first got introduced to Arrow, I didn't even know what it was. It was on Netflix, and I had just literally got out of the job that I was working with this guy with, and I was, I had a lot of free time, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch some Netflix. I haven't checked Netflix out very much, so I saw Arrow on there, and I'm thinking, it didn't even click that it was, Green Arrow. So I watched it, and it said something about DC, and I'm like, wait a second, because I love my DC. I'm like, wait a second, this is gonna be great. So I watched it, and then it hit me. It's gonna be the Green Arrow, and then, of course, at first I'm thinking, oh shit, the original Green Arrow storyline was really fucking boring. Actually, I was gonna say stupid.
And this storyline is freaking amazing.
Yeah, this is one of the newer ones, and it's, I guess, newer compared to the one I'm talking about.
Newer-esque.
Yeah. But it's amazing, and they did a very damn good job with this, and you just can't stop watching it, especially the first few seasons. Later down the line, I think it has the same problems as some of the other ones, but not so much. It's a little more minute than the other ones. It's still good, and Arrow just gets badass. I mean, you get to see some of the characters. They do their own take on like Red Arrow. No spoilers for Grizzly. But they do their own take on some of the other characters. Have you got to see Deadshot yet? Or was it Deadshot?
Fuck that guy. He's a dumb bitch.
You don't like him?
He's a pussy.
Well, you got Deadshot, and you got a few other characters in there. Arrow's, when he first starts out, it's pretty badass, and you get to see his costume change in the long run. How would you rate Legends of Tomorrow?
I would say right now, Legends of Tomorrow, Flash, and Arrow
No. One at a time.
Are all about an 8 out of 10. That's why. I like them all equally. I know the storyline for each of them could be a little bit better.
In some aspects, yeah.
In some aspects, but for the most part, I really enjoy the characters, enjoy the storylines. I've definitely seen a lot worse shows.
Yeah.
A lot worse superhero shows. I can't honestly say I've seen better ones, though.
No, these are actually pretty good. Like I said, that goes to show you DC is pretty much rolling the television, the TV shows when it comes to, and Marvel rolls the movies.
Movie theaters, the big screen, yeah.
And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and then we'll get back to the ratings here in a minute. But the problem with that is DC just gives away their rights. They're like, oh, yeah, this is a Batman movie, so make a movie about Batman. I don't care how you do it. You can change it up. Here you go. You can change whatever you want. And these guys take it, and then they just fuck it, more or less, the storyline. Where you got these Marvel guys going, okay, this is Deadpool. This is who he is. This is how he acts. This is his storyline. You do not deviate.
But we're going to start him out in this movie, and then 5 years later, we're going to do an actual movie on him, and then you know what, that one worked out so freaking good, we're just gonna scrub the Green Lantern, and we're gonna do a second Deadpool, and then you know what, before that even goes onto the big screen, we're gonna go ahead and start a third.
Yeah. So, Green Lantern for Ryan Reynolds, right? That's the character or the name.
Yeah.
Green Lantern for Ryan Reynolds, just to did not work out. It was just a bad movie, and what you gonna do? You know?
He said that was his biggest regret in Hollywood.
It was just bad writing. It was bad everything.
Very bad writing.
It wasn't his fault. He's a good actor. He's proven to be a good actor. Back to the rating system, I would say Arrow is definitely an 8.5. Honestly, The Flash is a 9. The Flash has not let me down so far. Every season, especially the Flashpoint Paradox season, was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I was scared they were gonna fuck that up, but they did so good. So it's definitely a 9, and then I would say The Legends of Tomorrow, maybe a 7.5. I love it.
Okay.
I love it, but I'm not in love with it like the other two shows.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth watching. When a new season comes out, I'm on it, but I'm not like, you know, it's worth watching in my opinion, but it's not like the end all be all of the shows.
Yeah.
For me, Supergirl, without one particular character, is a 6. But once that particular character comes in, it's the man-hating cat chick. Once that particular character comes in, it becomes a 3. Every time that character comes on screen and starts opening her mouth, it becomes a 3. What else? Black Lightning. I couldn't even finish it. It's a 1. And that's just my humble opinion. Again, you have all the right in the world to like it, but this is just me. I don't care for it. I just, not my thing.
Okay, what about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Okay, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Good. We'll transition to DC to Marvel. And I know there's more Marvel shows. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. And we forgot to talk about Lucifer for DC, but I haven't seen that yet, so I guess that's moot.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I would say the first few seasons is definitely like an 8, maybe. An 8. Yeah, the first few seasons an 8. The last few seasons that came out, drop it down to maybe like a 6. Okay.
Well, see, there's a few others that we're missing too, like Luke Cage.
Oh, well, we're talking Marvel on Netflix. Let's talk about Marvel. Mm-hmm. We got Luke Cage, we got Jessica Jones, we have Defenders, which is all of them. Iron Fist and Daredevil and the Punisher, you know. So let's talk about that. We'll start with the Punisher with you. I know we talked about that before, but
the Punisher, hands down for me, a 9 to 9.5.
I'll agree with you there.
Hands down.
I'll agree with you there. That just for the brutality in that movie or that show.
You know, and when first episode, when you called me and you're like, "Hey, this just came out on Netflix. You need to watch it. I want you to do a review on it." I was like, "Okay, you know, whatever." First episode I watched, I was like, "I don't think I'm gonna like this." Because I did not like the main actor when he was in Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I just didn't like him. It's not that I didn't like the character. I didn't like the acting. So halfway through the first episode,
he played what's his name? Shane.
Yeah.
He played the guy that boned on Rick's wife.
Yeah. So halfway through the first episode, I was like, I'm not going to be sleeping for the next couple of days because I'm going to binge watch the shit out of this show. Which is exactly what I did. I binge watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so good. So good.
It was very, very well done. I if they have another season, I'd be very happy.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's hard to think what would be next, though. You know what I mean? After what he did in the first one, and on top of that, the brutality. I said it before. I'll say it again. The brutality in the show is insane.
So much gore. It's amazing. I would love to see a Punisher Deadpool movie. of them working together.
That would be hilarity and gore altogether.
Except Deadpool can't die, and the Punisher just doesn't give a shit.
It'd be great. So Jessica Jones, did you watch Jessica Jones? I didn't watch Jessica Jones.
I tried. Not my cup of tea.
Okay. I liked her in The Defenders.
Not my cup of tea.
But I didn't get to watch it. So, okay, then Luke Cage.
Have not watched it yet.
I give Luke Cage an 8, a solid 8, because Luke Cage is actually really well done. And the show is good. I think season 2 just came out on Netflix. I can't wait to watch it. And the first one, and the character, the guy that got to play the character, the actor, is amazing. He did a good job. So, they said solid. I said a solid 8, right? So a solid 8.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the Iron Fist. Did you watch that?
I have not. No.
Oh, you're killing me. Okay, then again, that's another 8 for me because Iron Fist is very kung fu oriented, and we already know I love my kung fu movies.
Yeah.
It's very good on that aspect, and there's a lot of cool lore and a lot of cool shit. So definitely another 8. For that, then there's Daredevil, which I think is a solid 9. Daredevil is a 9.
Okay.
I would love to see another Daredevil season. Netflix, give us more Daredevil. Stop shoving this other shit down our throat. More Daredevil. I would love to see a season 3 of Daredevil. Well, when I first watched it, I was thinking, fuck, it's gonna be like the movie, and the movie was shit. And then I watched it, and I was like, oh man. This is actually pretty good. I was really excited. The actor they got to play Matt Murdock was fucking amazing. Defenders. The Defenders is all of them. And honestly, that came out and I kept saying, I want more Daredevil. Stop putting everyone together and try to do the Avengers. Just give me some fucking Daredevil. But I'm going to eat my words because I really liked that. The Avengers. The Defenders, I would say it was probably a 7.5.
Okay.
It's watchable. It's kind of like the same thing with Legends of Tomorrow.
Okay.
It's watchable. It's fun, but I wouldn't base my life upon it. Did you watch The Defenders?
Like I said, my queue is quite large.
How about Gotham? We haven't even touched base on really other than my mentioning of it earlier. Gotham. You haven't seen Gotham, have you?
No, I haven't. That's like 8 down on my list.
Gotham's a 9. It's a solid 9, almost a 10.
That's what you were saying, yeah.
Almost a 10 for me. Gotham is really, and let me explain for you guys that haven't seen Gotham. Gotham is basically Bruce Wayne's story as a child, that was barely touched base on in the movies, and so you get to see Bruce grow up and become more or less the Dark Knight. Even better, you get to see how like Edward Nygma becomes the Riddler, or even Edward Nygma in general. You get to see his downfall from being a detective. You get to see Oswald Cobblepot, I think is what we said his name was, the Penguin.
Yep.
You get to see Cobblepot kind of move up the ranks, and they kind of take some liberties with the story and the how they do things in the show, but you know what, it works. You even get to see kind of, I hate to say it this way, but in my opinion, it's kind of how the Joker came to be. They give the Joker a backstory, and I mean and the way they did it was amazing. I haven't got to see all of it. I'm sure there's more to it than what I've seen, but and the actor is amazing. But yeah, Gotham's amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, go out and see it. So we'll briefly touch base on this. I think we've gone through quite a few of the good shows on television. So there's going to be some movies coming out, some new superhero movies that we're kind of excited about. We'll touch base on some of those, and then I think we'll end the podcast. So, Grizzly, what kind of movies do we have to look forward to in the future?
Okay, well, the day after this podcast comes out is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I don't know if I'm looking forward to that too much, but
yeah, you're not a very big
Well,
Ant-Man fan.
I'm not I'm not a fan. I thought you were gonna say Marvel, but I'm not a fan of Ant-Man at all. Like Ant-Man's just kind of a boring character to me.
Venom coming out in October.
I have mixed feelings about Venom. What about you?
Yeah,
the commercial
for me, it looks cheesy.
The trailer, it looks great as far as like CG goes, but that's about it. Like it doesn't even look like it's gonna be. I don't see any Spider-Man. It's almost like I'm not 100% legit when it comes to like Venom as a character, but I'm pretty sure he's not an anti-hero.
No, he's a straight villain.
He's a straight villain. So maybe they're trying to change shit up to where, we've done enough hero movies. Let's do a villain movie. Or maybe they're gonna make him an anti-hero. If that's the case, there's gonna be a lot of pissed off people out there.
Yeah, I don't think Venom is gonna do very well in the box office. To be honest,
it looked like it had nothing to do with other than what the character looked like when the mask came out. I don't know.
But then with the next movie that I know that you are kind of iffy about is Aquaman, which is being done by Warner Brothers.
But Aquaman is going to be either they do it extremely right and it's a good movie, and I know this is the case with any movie, or they do it extremely wrong and people are just going to be mad. Because Aquaman is an easy character to make fun of, you know.
Yeah.
But he also in all afterthought, he's also one of the cooler characters too, depending on how you do it.
Yeah.
You know, wasn't a fan of him when they did Justice League. He just seemed like the brooding bitch. I don't want to do this.
I don't like people. I want to bone a mermaid.
Yeah. I don't like people. I'm the equivalent of Batman. Because Affleck really can't play Batman very well. In that movie, he didn't. I'm not lying. Batman made a joke in that movie, and fuck that. Batman doesn't joke. Batman's the broody one. I don't give a fuck how.
And I know this next movie you and I both are super excited about. It comes out January 11th of 2019, and it is Hellboy.
Oh fuck yeah! And isn't it? We talked about who played? It's not Ron Perlman this time.
It is not Ron Perlman.
Which is kind of sad, because we love Ron Perlman, but honestly, this guy they got to play him is also, in my opinion, just as good.
David Harbour. He was the cop in Stranger Things.
Yes. Awesome.
Which I think he is going to be perfect for that role.
Awesome actor. I think he's going to do a damn good job. He was amazing in Stranger Things, which is also a Netflix show if you haven't seen it.
Dark Phoenix, coming out on Valentine's Day next year.
Which is the X-Men movie, right?
It's part of it's the 12th installment of Fox's X-Men franchise and the start of a new trilogy starring James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence, and Sophie Turner.
How many X-Men movies are you going to fucking make before you realize that you're doing too much? No, Fox. Bad. Stop it. And honestly, like, some of them were good, some of them were bad.
Let's see. Captain Marvel comes out next year. Shazam
might be good. I think that's the one with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
And surprise, surprise, Avengers Infinity War sequel comes out in May of next year.
Oh, really? I didn't see that coming.
Oh, here's another thing you won't see coming. Wink, wink. Spoiler alert. Also next year, Spider-Man: Homecoming, the sequel.
Oh, what's that tell you? If you guys have seen the Infinity War, you know what happened.
Spoilers, but yeah. Spider-Man does.
Well, I wasn't gonna say it like that. I was gonna say, you know, the fate of Spider-Man. You know, you need a dustbuster, right? I think is what you said.
Yeah.
Or you know, so maybe unless you want to see like dust blowing in the wind in the sequel, something happens and he comes back. obviously.
Yeah, let's see. November next year, Wonder Woman 2.
Okay. Wonder Woman did well.
And then here's one that you and I are both kind of iffy on. And that's October 11th, 2019, The Crow Reborn.
Oh, yeah.
Starring Jason Momoa.
Which Jason Momoa is from what?
Jason Momoa is Aquaman.
Yes, just so you guys know. Same guy. So obviously this guy is definitely getting into this broody, like, oh, fuck my life kind of characters. We'll see, man. I'm really excited about there being another Crow, but the last few Crows, so...
Not gone so well, yeah.
We'll see. I mean...
And here's one that I'm excited about. In 2020, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
3. Which also kind of tells you what happened with the Guardians of the Galaxy people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. I'm excited to see that. I like Guardians of the Galaxy. The first two movies, well, the second movie was good. I watched maybe 5 minutes of the first movie, which...
Oh, so good, so
which
good.
My problem with the first one was I didn't know who the fuck they were, so I didn't want to watch it. And then I watched the sequel, and it was amazing. You know, and the only thing I watched from the first one was the Howard the Duck scene, because Howard the Duck.
In the works with Fox, a Gambit movie.
Oh, I know someone who's gonna get
with Channing Tatum.
Oh, now I don't know if he's gonna like the Channing Tatum.
He's not gonna like it.
Oh, Gambit is gonna fucking shit bricks. Oh, I don't think he likes Channing Tatum. I don't think he liked the idea that dude was going to be Gambit. So we'll see. We'll see what Gambit has to say about that one.
And then Spawn reboot.
The Spawn reboot
was supposed to have started filming in May.
Supposed to?
So,
well,
yeah, because it was originally supposed to start in February, and then it was supposed to start again in May.
Uh-oh.
But the report came out the end of May, so don't exactly know if it actually started or not.
I love this series. I love the movie, even how bad it is and how much it really hasn't. It didn't age well as far as the CG goes, but I love the movie. Watching John Leguizamo waddle around as the fucking clown was hilarious. We have a special treat for you next week if everything goes well, because yeah. Well, okay, guys, we've been telling you there's gonna be a challenge. Between Minder and Gambit. Well, Gambit is really hard to get a hold of these days.
Life has been getting in the way for him quite a bit, which is completely understandable. Life happens.
So what we're doing is we're changing it up, since we did promise you guys a challenge. The challenge is now between Grizzly and Minder. And it's going to be, instead of Buffy, it was Buffy. It's going to be about Harry Potter. Harry Pothead.
Hufflepuff will win this day.
So we'll see. She's a Gryffindor? What's she?
No, she's a Ravenclaw.
Oh, sorry. They all look the same to the Slytherin. So, she's a Ravenclaw, and he's a Hufflepuff. So we're gonna see who wins, and I think I'm actually pretty sure I'm emceeing this. So I got to find some hard questions for these two. Whoever loses is gonna have to do what the winner wants, and we'll see what that is.
I'm not gonna lose. It's Harry Potter. I'm going to channel my inner Hagrid, and just take control of the grounds.
So everybody, we're going to go ahead and end this. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the Barkside Animal Rescue, like we said, so True can get more paintball shot at him. I almost said shat at him.
Shat at him. That'd be gross.
For him, maybe, or whoever's doing it. Or actually for me, too, because I'd have to watch. Guys, I don't know if I'm going to want to do that live or not next week. We'll see. Definitely going to record it, though.
Both.
Yeah. So be sure to tune into that. We might, I'm not sure yet, we might show up to the Ohana Comic-Con after that. I guess it all depends on how messed up he is. That's a lot of paintballs. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. And do you have anything you wish to say, Grizz?
Be yourself. Stay sexy.
Always.